Happy May, everyone. It is Mental Health Awareness Month for the month of May, and I am going to kick this off with sharing to you my story. So why am I so passionate about mental health? It was in 2018 that I started going to get my psychology degree, and I was really going into, of course, the studies, and there was a lot of classes that I was taking, and I was the client. So I was doing therapies on me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I am messed up. And so I started going to counseling, and oh my goodness, it was there that I realized that there are so many adults walking around in this world without knowing that they have childhood wounds living inside of them. And it was at that moment that I realized that I was responding to people in my present day based on my deep-rooted emotional wounds from childhood. And that's when I started really healing and really discovering the truth of who I was, and also started developing self-awareness. So I became really passionate to let everyone know, hey, go to therapy, And the reason also in that is because I grew up as a Christian. Pentecostal is my background. And so in that, there was a lot of like a stigma on those who go to counseling. And so for me, I developed this deep desire to bring awareness to everyone that it's not that. That's not what it is. It's not about not praying enough or not allowing Holy Spirit to heal you. It has nothing to do with that. And that's a whole different story, and I could talk for hours on that one. But so that's what started me on this passion for mental health. And I got my master's in human service counseling, and so I just have this desire to bring awareness of mental health. And also I really want people to know that there are so many people walking around in this world with diagnosis, and we're not saying anything about it. We're not going in and introducing ourselves. Hi, I have bipolar. Hi, I struggle with PTSD. You never know what people are struggling with. And so I want to bring awareness to that, to just recognize that there is a life outside of us, that other people, other individuals struggle in certain ways that we don't know anything about. And do you know it takes about 10 to 15 years for someone who has a diagnosis to get their medication proper and right and appropriate for them? 10 to 15 years on average to find out what type of medication is best for them. And there's so much that I can talk about here. This is just barely touching the surface of why I am so passionate about these things. But also, there was a tragedy that happened in 2023, and I lost a loved one. My family lost a loved one, and my nephew, Arturo Martinez, was 22 years old, and he struggled with different things, and that really catapulted me into doing something different, into shouting so loud about mental health awareness and bringing information to people about mental illnesses, about different types of diagnoses. And so that's why I got a license as a brain health trainer. Some of us have had cancer. Some of us are diagnosed with diabetes, have liver disease, like these different things that are happening in our bodies that we need to go to a doctor for. And there's no stigma on that. When someone is diagnosed with cancer, we don't tell them it's their fault and they need to pray more and they need to be better. We don't say that. But when the organ of the mind, when our brain is malfunctioning and it needs medication, for whatever reason, there's a stigma on that. But when a liver is malfunctioning, an organ is malfunctioning other than the brain, there's so much grace for that. And so that is my biggest passion, is to let people know that mental health matters, mental illness is a thing, and the brain is an organ, and that needs to be taken care of too. So that's my passion. That's part of the reason why I say and do what I do for mental health. I want everyone to know that there's an answer for everything. And if we search in the right places, we will find answers. So that is my story. Happy Mental Health Awareness Month. And I'll come on here every day with a mental health tip.